What did Jason say when you suggested bringing Summit to Korea?
What Jason says when I want to bring Summit Korea?
The idea to bring Summit to Korea came through Sunny. I didn't honestly know much about Korea. Being honest here, when somebody would mention Korea, my mind went straight to like when I was a kid watching MASH with my dad, like an old Korean War TV show. I met Sunny on a random online call during COVID, in I believe February of 2021.
So 2021, our family had a car accident, and through that we met our Dr. Brett. And then one time he shared about Summit and how show up through the Summit. So he asked me to get a training. And then the first time I talked to him, okay, I know it is good, but I already had those kind of training. So maybe that is not for me. But then he called Jason. So I registered, and then as I registered, almost in half hour, I got a letter from government, US government, that there's no problem, but I had to leave state in 2 weeks. So I fasting and asked the Lord what is His will, and then I had so much peace that it's time to go back to Korea. So I came to Korea, and then maybe 2 nights later, 1 a.m., I had a first Summit Mastery training. First time the Mastery training was really cleanse my all faith and all my idea about love and my identity, because I think from Old Testament to New Testament, the love is everything for me, and I searching for that who's gonna really teach and show that as Jesus taught to us. But even I was Christian life few decades, I never heard or show anyone that above all in the Bible, love is the everything. No one show and no one teach that. But in the first time Mastery training, I see that whenever Jason talk about Jesus' love, steadfast love, I know that it is not just a word. His steadfast love go through the Jason and to the people.
올라갔다 여기서 쭉 걸어가면 되겠다.
So in the beginning, when God asked me to settle Summit in Korea, it was very shock for me, because even I am Korea, I left Korea when I was 19, and I barely know anyone's in Korea.
Initially, Summit, the people who were attending Summit were people that Sunny knew, like all 7 people that Sunny knew. And very quickly what happened was, again, it spread. And then they started inviting their friends, and then their friends started inviting their friends and their pastors and their missionary friends and their ministry leaders. And so before we knew it, Summit, you couldn't just say, hey, here's the type of person that was attending Summit. And people start showing up, and they start bringing their friends, and then they bring other people. And now I'm feeling the pressure to I'm just saying the same thing over and over. It's a workshop. Why are you guys showing up over and over again to the same thing? And even in my opinion, I say, we have an e-course. You could just go through the e-course when you want. You don't have to show up. I am not understanding what God is doing in this people. And what happened was he's changing them. Every time they come, they're hearing something different. And it's not because I'm saying anything different. It's because God is revealing himself more and more to them in deeper ways because they're continually walking in trust toward him. Korea is an odd duck in that it was a forcing function for this idea that God I think was trying to scream to us, hey, by the way, you're a church. And we were going, no, we're not a church. We're a parachurch organization. We're here to support the church. And God's going, yeah. And then we show up to Korea, and Korea, they start calling me Pastor Jason. And I'm saying, why are you calling me Pastor Jason? Well, because you're our pastor, because we're part of Summit Church. And my immediate response was, oh, no, we're not a church, because we don't want to compete with churches. So we asked the Summit family in Korea, we said, hey, could you call us Summit Family instead of Summit Church? So now, and I tried to get them to stop calling me pastor, and I asked them, hey, could you call me Brother Jason? And they said, yeah, we'll do that. And they just never did it. So now we are the Summit Family in Korea, which is, in a sense, a church. I wish that she were here today because we're talking about marriage.
소원이라고 한번 생각해 보세요.
For some of us, that garden.
I asked the Lord because He's the one who asked me to stay in Korea and settle for the Summit Korea. So when I pray for that, He first of all speak to me that you guys have an orphan spirit and I want to take off and I want to show that who I am, the true father. I think God is not called us to make church names bigger or famous. He just wants us to know that who we are in God, and He wants us to know as His children and disciples. I think that's the main thing. No matter what, I want to stand for Korea, to see true Father, to see that who they are in Father.
I can explain to you with words what God is doing through Summit. We can tell the stories, and we will continue to. But at the end of the day, just come and see for yourself, and then you can judge for yourself. And I don't know what God's going to say to you, but I know He's going to say something.
Eye contact, should I not make eye contact? Should I pretend like I'm up there? I don't know. What do I do with my hands?
Just don't do both.